The Atlanta chapter of the American Theater Organ Society is with you by the magic of internet technology. Hello, everyone. This is Ken Double, privileged to be the president of the Atlanta chapter of ATOS, and we are all about the wonderful music of the theater pipe organ. For example, Mighty Mo at the Atlanta Fox. But more specifically, in this discussion, we're going to be focused on an event that's going to happen at Stephenson High School in Stone Mountain, where we have a 4-keyboard, 22-rank Page pipe organ. It's a fabulous instrument, and it's going to be under the fabulous control of our special guest, Mark Renwick, who is visiting with us from Tallahassee, Florida. And Mark, welcome to our little chat here for all our friends in the theater organ world, and we are really looking forward to your visit on Sunday, August the 21st.
Hello, Ken. It is really a pleasure to be here speaking to you from Tallahassee. I'm really looking forward to our program in August.
And to our friends who are involved in the world of the theater organ, who may or may not be real familiar with the name Mark Renwick, because Mark doesn't tour and play concerts. He just happens to be a concert level player who made his living in a different field, but he is a terrific player, and it's going to be a great program on the 21st. A little about your background, Mark. We talk about the wow moment. When did you have your wow moment about the theater organ?
Well, we lived in Denville, New Jersey, just outside New York, until I was 9 years old. And my dad remembers hearing live organ on the radio when he was in high school. So that's how far back his interest in the theater organ goes. And he was involved in the Garden State chapter, the New York chapter. So as a small child, I was exposed to organs in those areas, including the final performance at the New York Paramount in September 1964. I was 7 years old. I remember Leroy Lewis was sitting across the aisle, and I loved his records, so I got my courage up and walked across the aisle and introduced myself to Leroy Lewis. And then when I was 9, we moved to Massachusetts and became very involved in the Eastern Massachusetts chapter. And that was just tremendous. There were so many residence organs available, and other instruments. Stoneham Town Hall was being used heavily then. And I just got a lot of encouragement from everybody in the chapter. It's a very, very important thing.
Oh, boy, is it ever. Remember my wow moment growing up in Chicago and how many people opened doors and provided opportunities to play theater pipe organ. And fortunately, this is still the same today. Even the just recently concluded Summer Youth Adventure. That is the week-long, almost camp-like experience for young people who are in the presence of 3 or 4 or 5 great artists, have an opportunity to learn, play instruments. And so this is an ongoing thing that the wonderful membership of ATOS has provided for young people with an interest in playing. So then who would you say were your influences besides Leroy Lewis? How did you learn to be so proficient at the instrument? A teacher, or by a little bit of osmosis and by ear? And how did that all come about?
Well, my dad bought a lot of organ records, starting in the 50s, and the Cook label records of Reginald Fort, and all the George Wright records as they came out. And I probably heard George Wright in utero, and also in the wee hours of the morning, when I was trying to go to sleep as a small child. So George Wright was certainly a large influence. There have been others, of course, and I did not have a lot of formal instruction, but had enough coaching along the way to keep me from going too far off the track.
Indeed. And when you have the opportunity to have a great instrument, it can help you learn how to play. You obviously have a great instrument right there in your music room in Tallahassee. Tell us about that.
Well, this is a organ made by the Allen Organ Company. It's a GW 319EX, which is one of the early models that came out with the sampling technology, and it uses the samples from George Wright's Hollywood Philharmonic studio organ. It was built in 2001, and I'm pleased to say they're pretty well built instruments. So it survived the move to Tallahassee from Jacksonville, and I'm getting reacquainted with it somewhat in my retirement since I have more time to devote to it. So I'm having a great time.
As we have this discussion with Mark Renwick from Tallahassee, Florida, we know that we have members of our Atlanta chapter of ATOS who will see this, but we also have some folks who maybe have stumbled upon us somewhat by accident. And a theater pipe organ is a pipe organ, like a pipe organ that you might hear in a church, except its purpose was, one, make music for silent film, two, much more accommodating for popular music, and also it was built to be like an orchestra. And so the voices in the instrument are strings and flutes and clarinets and trumpets. But there are also bells and xylophones and chimes and tambourines and castanets and all of these orchestral sounds that are at the fingertips of the artist as he becomes arranger and conductor in determining how he wants the instrument to interpret the piece he's going to play. So coming to hear Mark Renwick at Stephenson High School in Stone Mountain will be like going to hear the Boston Pops. And I'm sure, Mark, without getting, we don't want to give away trade secrets, because once you sit down at the page, you'll know what you want to play. But there is a wide variety of music that the theater organ can present.
That is absolutely true. And I should mention other musical influences growing up was not just organ music, but opera, classical symphonic music, jazz, rock music. I was a big Beatles fan starting when I was 7. So those are influences too. And so you put that all together, and I've tried to pick up a lot of styles and ideas and historically authentic feeling from just a lot of other types of recordings from that period in history.
And a quick word about our page organ. It has been a long time coming and has really blossomed since 2013, when it was heard by the theater organ world at our annual convention that the Atlanta chapter hosted back then. And even since then, it has grown to 22 voices, 22 sets of pipes, plus all of those percussions. And quite frankly, Mark, we have good reason to be very proud of this pipe organ. It is a stunning sound in that 550-seat auditorium at the high school.
Absolutely. I remember its debut many years ago, and I've heard it several times since then. And it's really become a world-class instrument. And it's a real jewel to find that nestled as it is in the suburbs outside of Atlanta. It's a real prize, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know it better.
So that instrument is owned by this Atlanta chapter of the American Theater Organ Society, and thus we will have our monthly meeting at Stephenson High School, 701 Stephenson Road in Stone Mountain. It will be Sunday, August the 21st at 3 p.m., and you can come if you are a member of the chapter. Of course, we want you to come, but if you're not, if you've just stumbled upon us, come on down. Get introduced to the music of the theater organ. It's lots of fun. Most of our members do not play a note. They just happen to love the sound of the theater organ. And if you want to find out more about our chapter, www.atosatlanta.org. That is the website, atosatlanta.org. And you can find out about the Atlanta Fox and Mighty Mo, and this instrument at Stone Mountain, the Strand Theater in Marietta and its GW4, the Plaza Theater down on Ponce de Leon and its 3 Manuel Allen. We have some exciting events coming up, including the celebration of Silent Movie Day in September, where there'll be silent film presentations accompanied by theater organs all over the country. Mark, we're really looking forward to your visit. We know it's going to be a lot of fun. You will, I'm sure, be inspired as you practice on your 319EX GW model and be ready to go. Practice well, drive safely, and we'll see you in August.
Thank you, Ken. I'm really looking forward to it.
Again, the time is 3 p.m., Sunday, August the 21st at Stephenson High School. We hope you can make it. We hope you've enjoyed our little chat with Mark Renwick. And until the next time, this is Ken Double. For Mark and for all of us at the Atlanta chapter of ATOS, you have a great rest of the day. So long, everyone.